Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel and some OP replays for you. We have two OP replays and this was a close call. These replays are very, very close. First up, we have Oscar driving the IS-4. As we know, the IS-4 used to be like, I've always recommended it to new players, but over the last sort of year or so, it has become a lot worse. And probably it means that the tanks around it have become better, and this has kind of just been left, and that's a good thing because it was always sort of not quite overpowered, but it was always very, very strong. And I like the fact that the IS-7 has now become sort of the old IS-4 and a more better tank, but it is still a fantastic tank to play if played correctly. It is still super, super strong in certain situations. Now my guy Oscar, he's in a hold down position, and this tank is very, very difficult to penetrate when you are in a hold down position. It's got not bad DPM, and it can really cause a danger to the enemy team. And of course the armor profile is what this tank is all about. The armor profile is super, super strong. Of course the lower plate is quite weak, but it does need some weak points, and overall it's still a good tank, but it is kind of been overtaken by tanks like the IS-7, and we've also seen other tanks like the Kran, the Yo, and of course the Concept 1B that are all better than this tank now. But our guy Oscar is just still going to showcase how good this tank can actually be. So far 2.3k damage. There goes the VK90, and he now needs to sort of back up because there are quite a few tanks, including a Death Star, to try and deal with. And he gets a shot there from the E100, but the E100 is now a one shot, and he is going to take care of him to bring it now down to a 4 versus 4. Of course he needs to focus this Death Star. It's a dangerous target, and he's playing quite aggressive, this Death Star is, and I mean, God knows what he's doing here. God knows what he's doing. 3.5k damage, and he gets close to this Death Star, and he does manage to take him out with the help of his teammate. So 4 versus 3 now, and as you can see, that there is another Death Star up there that is full hit points. There's a Yo over there that is full hit points, and there is a 50 TP that has plenty of hit points left, and it's now a 3 versus 3. He is on 3.7k damage, comes around the corner, and there is just two tanks staring at him. Luckily one is the Death Star, who wasn't quite ready, and he just fired his gun and it literally went nowhere. So we know the Death Star is on a reload. Now this isn't the best of positions. He's in a good position because I mean, it's going to be very difficult for them to pen, but all of these tanks, even including the Death Star, is in kind of hold down positions. And again, the Death Star does miss, and the other two hold down are very, very strong tanks as well. So sitting here, the only thing he could really do is just whittle this Death Star down, and even the Death Star can get bounces at that angle. His Death Star has came to support him now. 4.6k damage. Now it's not good when all three of your tanks are in the same position. They need to start moving around, because all being in this same position, the enemy is just making it easy for them. They're just making it easy for the enemy, and they need to sort of get around. We've got the Death Star now gone to the left side. There is another guy behind, and our guy Oscar kind of realizes that this isn't the best of positions to be in, especially up against these two tanks here, because it's going to be very, very tough to be able to penetrate these guys. I mean, he can penetrate the Yo there on the hatches, but when you're going backwards and forwards just like the Yo is doing, they are not easy targets. And of course when they are just sitting there, of course you can get the shot on them hatches. So 5.6k damage. 3 minutes left on the clock, plenty of time left on the clock, and our guy Oscar has had enough. He's had enough of them being in a hold down position, and has decided he is going to relocate, and he's gone to the left side, which is the right move. We've got the Death Star there on the sort of left there. and his other ally just behind. So he's gone to the right side to try and sort of get the cross shots in, the crossfire, and kind of pincer these guys. And as long as he doesn't get shot from the Death Star, he's probably the main target to go for right now. But of course, he's not going to just expose his whole tank to try and get the shot. Here is the 50 TP, and he's actually bringing the 50 TP around away from his other two tanks, which is fantastic. And he's then in no danger. Of course, he is going to get shot. He gets so far 2,200 block damage. Nice block there from the 50 TP. Gets a nice high roll into that guy as well, and he's going to go for the track, which means he can just back up around this building whilst the 50 TP is on a reload. So nice going for the tracks there, and of course he's just going to try and side scrape here, go for the HE. Unfortunately leaves him on 1 HP. Let's go IS4, says the T30. At least someone's recognizing how well he's done. 7,100, and again he's trying to go for the HE, which I recommend, but of course unfortunately for him, again, he just splashes with 0 amount of damage, and this time he is going to go for the AP, but he does take a shot, which now means he is a one-shot to the Death Star. The E5 is just a one-shot as well, and the Yo is still on sort of 1,300 hit points. Now he gets a beautiful bounce there, absolutely vital that was. If he wouldn't have got that bounce, this would have been a game over. So the Death Star is gone, and it now just leaves this Yo. Of course, his E5 is a one-shot, and it's just the Yo left to do. The Yo can actually take care of all both of these tanks. If he's reloaded all 3 shells, he because I think he's firing the 3-shell autoloader, he should be able to clear these guys. And there's 1 shot, he clears the E5, just 2 shots left, and the E4 is even coming out sideways. I mean, the IS4 is even coming out sideways for him, and he's now trying to get close to him. Now, 1 shot each. They are both a 1-shot, but he's going to have to bounce something. He's going to go for the HE. Is he going to clear this time? No, he doesn't, but he does get a bounce from the Yo, a second bounce from the Yo. He's got 1 shell left. Oh my god, another bounce from the Yo. How lucky can you get? But well played, absolutely well played. 8,687 damage. Well played indeed. The Yo actually had a really good game, but he just ruined it at the end there with those bounces. How can you bounce all 3 shells? Take your time and make sure one of them pens. Next up, we have Unskilled driving the 60 TP. Yes, the 60 TP, as we know, is a fantastic tier 10 tank. It has the tungsten shell as well. If you're playing this tank, I'd always recommend using the tungsten shell because it is great. It ups your DPM, it ups your alpha for a certain amount of time, and it really can deal some issues, some nice damage to the enemy team. Of course, the only downfall with the 60 TP is the ammo rack. It is a very weak ammo rack, actually probably even weaker than the IS7. That's a tough one because the IS7 is actually like really weak, but yeah, if you've seen tournaments, especially like the online the online on Wargaming's YouTube with the Blitz Cup that's just happened, there was like, I don't know, about 5 or 6 hammer racks, maybe even more, just in the final of these the tournaments. So it gets ammo rack very easy. Now he's playing it very aggressive, and I love this kind of gameplay. He's got literally all 7 of the enemy tanks in front of him, and yet he is so far forward, but his team, the enemy, can't do nothing. They can't push because his whole team is behind, and if they try and push, they are going to get wrecked from the tank from the team behind. But the E5 here is just like, yeah, okay guys, I'm gonna push. But of course he gets a nasty shell into him. Now they could actually push and just go into the middle here to take care of this 60 TP and the Emil. At least they wouldn't get shot from all the tanks behind, but they've just decided just to, you know, we're gonna sit out in the open and we're gonna get absolutely ripped apart. So already already 2 minutes gone and 3,400 damage. He's really pumped up that damage very, very quickly. And he's not done yet. He isn't done yet. He is still got a lot of work to do. So E100 there, trying to angle his best. Now, that was actually some good angling in the E100. It is difficult to angle the E100. And this is why I always say that E100 is a noob man's tank, because people just don't know how to angle the E100 effectively. At this point, it is a 6 versus 5, and here comes his team. 5 versus 5. The Jaegeru has decided to start pushing forward, and because he has protection from his team, he can also push forward as well. These both got hit points, and they're both massive guns that you don't want to be in front of you. And of course, because of that, the E5 over there has sort of backed up. It is unfortunately for him, he gets set on fire. The E100 has also backed up, and they do have 2 tank destroyers in the corner. That's not really causing much too much issue. There goes the grill, and it just leaves now this E100 here, and he's just going to get ripped apart. And that medium tank, the AMX, I haven't really seen him all battle, to be honest. So they're going to ignore the Death Star for now. You can still see him trying to hug this E100 to get out the way from the Death Star. And I love the fact that he's always looking to see where that Death Star is, because he is a one-shot to the Death Star. And if he takes a shot now, it could actually change the outcome of the game. And I love the fact that this E100 is always trying to get rid of the Jaegeru as well. So unfortunately, the Jaegeru is going to take him out, and it now just leaves 2 tanks. Now, the AMX is still full hit points, and there are quite a few low hit point tanks on his team. Of course, the Death Star can cause a massive the Death Star right now can change the outcome of this game. He just needs to one-shot a few tanks. If he one-shots I mean, look, all 3 tanks that are pushing now are all one-shots, but I'm not sure what the Death Star was shooting there, but I think he missed, and now all 3 of these tanks can push the Death Star. But of course, there is the AMX that is behind as well. So fair play to the enemy at this point, and that makes now the Jaegeru have to turn around. Instead of going for the Death Star, he wants to go for the AMX. And again, if the Death Star takes out one of these tanks, it will change the outcome of the game. The Death Star needs to push. He's got the rear of a Jaegeru to deal with. Is he going to be able to shoot him? He does shoot him. Did he miss, or did he pen? He did pen, but I don't think he was using HE there. He should have used HE. He would have been able to clear that guy. And again, it would just then leave the AMX versus the 60 TP. And at this point, the AMX has a plenty of hit points, but now he doesn't. That was a very nice high roll there from our 60 TP, and the Jaegeru is going to clear him. So good game all around. A few mistakes from the enemy team there that cost them. But up until that point, I think they played good. There wasn't too much they can do when they've got sort of 2 massive tanks sitting in that ditch and doing over 9,000 damage. Absolutely well played, Unskill. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm meadsy69, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye-bye.